Okay. I don't know the moment at which I am actually live because there's a delay. Let's see, it's 20 seconds. I should probably just Google this, but it's been seconds. I'm going to blah, 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 blah as I wait for people to join me. How is the volume? How is the internet? How is my hair? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'm gonna do this until a minute, and then I'm gonna formally start. Do 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 do. Ta-da! It's been 1 minute, and I've been live, but now I think I am actually live without air quotes. Hello. Hello, happy Friday. It's Anastasia at the Sacred Spheres. Week 2 of our live streams. It is now the 8th. Oh, wow, that's 6. There we go. It is the 8th live stream that we've done. I did one on a Sunday, and then I had like as a preliminary, and then a Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and this week was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and this is Friday. And I am so happy to see you and be with you. Hello, viewer. Welcome. Show yourself. Show yourself in the chat, my friend. Who are you? How are you? Happy Friday. Cheers. Again, it's Anastasia at the Sacred Spheres. It is Friday. TGIF. It is the end of week 2 of our live streams, and it's our happy hour. Cheers. I am having some red today. It is a merlot. And if anyone saw Sideways, you're not supposed to drink merlots. They are so unsophisticated, but fuck Sideways. Sorry. Anyways. Yay. Although Sandra Oh is in Sideways, and I get compared to her a lot. Isn't that? Oh, hello. 9 p.m. your time, Andy. Welcome. This is a fun fact. I get compared to Sandra Oh, not because I am the spitting image of Sandra Oh by any means, the actress Killing Eve, famously, Grey's Anatomy. It's apparently how I communicate and how I hold myself. And I used to work in medicine. People would hear my voice and think I'm Sandra Oh, and they come around the corner and are very disappointed. But yeah, so apparently, yeah, I have her countenance. I speak like her. I did get to meet with her. Wow, I did meet her once because where I worked when I was doing events like premieres, red carpets, and so on at ArcLight Cinemas Hollywood, we did the season 2 premiere of Killing Eve, and I got to meet her, and she's fucking badass. That lady is fierce. Oh my God, I almost forgot. And then I actually met her at a sound bath. I was doing a sound bath. And she was only a couple feet away from me. We spent a few hours in a sound bath. I mean, we couldn't talk or anything, but it was just, I kind of run into her a lot, and people, compare me to her a lot. Anyway, I was about to say, welcome to our happy hour, TGIF. Welcome to Friday. Thank you for joining us for week 2. I mentioned Sandra Oh because of Sideways and because of Merlot. I'm having some Merlot today for our happy hour. Happy hour because somewhere, someone in the world is happy, even if it's not you or me. Cheers. I'm very you guys. And I do have a special treat of a song I'll sing later on. Maybe in the middle. I don't know. I'll keep it spicy. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go into the chat. Oh, whoa. Those are my notes. Because I had a couple ideas about things. But we'll see how this flows. I love these live streams. They just kind of, like it's summertime, the living's easy. I'm not singing that right now, though I have sung live. But yeah, we're just floating down the river, seeing where it takes us. That is the best way to live in life. That is the spiritual adage of all. Don't live in a way where it feels like you're constantly chopping wood, but pouring water or flowing like water. That is a good sign to know, am I where I need to be? But yeah, back to the chat. Andy again is 2 hours ahead of us. Hello, I am in Hollywood, California. Ooh, lots of hearts. I love you. Hello, my darlings. Hello, beautiful people. All right. Okay, 9 p.m. for Andy. It's 7 p.m. here in Pacific. Joyce is here. Hello. Jim is saying hello, Anastasia dear. Rather, hi, Anastasia dear. Hi, Jim. Hello, my darling. Andy is giving Joyce lots of hugs. Andy has a photo. His profile pic is of Emil Sitka, from a Three Stooges short. That is pretty rad, very badass. Speaking of badassery, I was mentioning Sandra Oh's badassery. She's pretty fierce. Actually, did anyone see her in, oh God, the one with Aquafina, the more recent movie, Quiz Lady. So fun. I loved her in that. She won an Emmy for that. It was actually a really fun movie. I wasn't gonna watch it for some reason, but I did finally. Because I have Hulu these days. Baby Shark. Uh-oh, Baby Shark. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I used to be a nanny. Let's not do Baby Shark references. It's very addictive. Oh, hello, Chuck. I do have a lot of blue. Mentioning Baby Shark, I've been painting things blue lately. I love cerulean blue. It's a beautiful color. What's up, Doc? Hello, Andy. Saying hi to Chuck. Joyce is outside and saw lightning bugs for the first time this year. I love that Jim is talking to Chuck and mentioning his dad's dad and dad's brother were all named Chuck. And they are both gone and you miss them very much. That's really... Well, they're always here with you. Whenever you remember them, there they are. That's a beautiful thing about grief. A lot of folks say, oh God, like, does it ever end? And it's like, I don't want it to end, because when I grieve or when I remember someone I love and who passed, brings their memory back. That brings them back. Oh, look, we have a lot more viewers than last time. Hi, viewers. Please show yourselves in the chat if you'd like to. Oh, there's that new, is it a movie or TV show that's called Chuck, or there's something about Chuck, or I can't, no, not like there's something about Mary, but my God, Sidney, Andy invited you over. Welcome, Sidney. We are going to have an amazing Friday. Welcome to our happy hour, where somewhere someone in the world is happy, even if it's not you or me. It's the inverse of the very canceled Woody Allen, who said that I can't be happy if someone is miserable, where, you know, there's someone happy, and that's going to help to engender happiness here. I'm going to help to engender that. I wore my fancy dress again today for you guys. I do need to do my laundry. What is that about laundry and tidying your house that you do absolutely anything else in the world? Well, this is a fun thing to do. We do laundry another day, or at least tonight. Again, cheers, whatever your beverage, whether it is alcoholic, non-alcoholic, water, whether it is the source of life, you know, air, are you an airtarian? However you imbibe. Cheers. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here. You are loved. I love you. I am here to offer love and space for whatever this needs to be. Cheers. Sydney saying hi to Joyce. Let's see here. Andy is my promoter. Look at you doing my PR. Everyone, remember to hit that that like button and subscribe and the little bell. Ding, the man in the boat. Thank you, Bill Burr. I am a comedy slut. I love comedy. We were talking a lot about comedy last time. Joyce is having a lemon spritzer. And Jim for being the first one to like this. Heck yeah. I will wear my glasses for you. I brought these again today. I also brought my my rubber ducky. Rubber ducky, you make bath time so much fun. Okay. I do have a song planned for you guys that I want to sing a little later. It is a song that Cynthia Erivo covered brilliantly, beautifully in... Did anyone see Bad Times at the El Royale? It is an underseen movie. It was very Tarantino-esque. It is extremely long, similar to a Tarantino's film. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. I think it came out circa, I think 2019 in the summer, if I remember correctly. Well, Sia, as you know, that was one of her earlier roles, and then she was in Harriet and then Wicked and that little indie flick. Anyone see that? But she is an extraordinary singer. Heart to Cynthia Erivo. And there was a lot of soul songs in Bad Times at the El Royale. And she covered a few of them. And I have a cover of her cover of the cover. Kind of like last time with Amy Winehouse. Yay, hearts. I'm loving the hearts. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be, that'll come out. I don't know. Last time I sang at the very end, because that's just how everything worked well. I'm just, again, we're flowing down the river. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Welcome to summer. It is very here in LA, very much here in Hollywood. The bugs are out. They love my blood. I have that sweet and succulent bug blood. I already have bites on my arms and legs. I need to take vitamin B1. I think it's thiamine that I need to take to help fight that a little bit more effectively. But yes, oh man, I just wanted to mention Cynthia Erivo for a moment. Obviously she was lovely and Wicked, but in Harriet, when she sang that song that was nominated for an Oscar at the Oscars, at the Academy Awards that year, oh my God. I've rewatched that video many times. That and the John Legend Common song. Why am I forgetting everything about that song? It's a very gospel-y, well, it's a literal gospel song, but the John Legend wrote, Common was featured on. If anyone can remind me of that in the chat, let me know, because I have had a very long night and day. Holy moly. Holy Mother of God. Yes, I was helping a family member move. It was very, I did the evening shift. I got home, good Lord, after 2 a.m. I didn't get to bed till 4:45 in the morning. Living that La La Land Hollywood life, I guess. Let's go back to the comments. Andy is asking, are there other haunted places I've seen besides the Roosevelt, if I may ask? Well, my dear friend, Hollywood is the entire area. It's not a city per se. It's I don't know if you'd even call it an ordinance. It's just a part of Los Angeles. It's never been incorporated like West Hollywood has or North Hollywood. But it is freaky. Go here, everywhere. I know if there are a couple bars that are very close to the Roosevelt that are definitely very freaky and for sure haunted, but not in the disturbed way that places are haunted in LA. Where there have been very real, ghastly, gruesome things that have happened. But like Powerhouse, for example, or Regis Jameson's, like those are some bars that are near the Roosevelt that have a little spook to them. Besides the obvious, they're like little spooky place. Well, there's Musso and Frank's. Anyone there? You know, that was also, speaking of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Tarantino, who has been mentioned on the show before, because I once worked with him at ArcLight, because we were his place. He gave me a bunch of posters. If anyone wants a poster, just pay for shipping. Send me an email. Be happy to. I used to sell them on eBay. I'm burned down on that. They're very cool. Maybe I'll bring one out and show you again. But yeah, Musso and Frank's was featured very prominently in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Musso and Frank's is absolute iconic place. It's actually older. It's a restaurant older even than the Hollywood Roosevelt. Musso and Frank's established, if I remember correctly, 105 years ago. So that would put us at 1920. And if you remember correctly, the Roosevelt was co-funded by Artist Studios, MGM Studios, more or less at the inception of Hollywood, Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks Sr., Sid Graham, and Louis B. Mayer in 1927. And the first Academy Awards in 1929. Musso and Frank's is open before that. And very famously, Charlie Chaplin, as you know, part of United Artists, friend of Mary Pickford et al., who was there at the inception of and the grand opening of the Roosevelt. He would race people, buggy race people on Hollywood Boulevard, and anyone who lost would have to buy dinner at Musso and Frank's. It's French-oriented food that once there was like a little pivot. I forget. I think it was maybe in the 30s with the cuisine, and once they had that pivot and it became much more renowned for being very, primarily French, a little California influx there, food, they stuck, they did well. And to this day, the menu is almost the same as it was in the 1930s or so. And they also famously have servers who have been there for 30, 40 years, kind of like in the French, where serving is a profession. Believe it or not, serving when you're in dining or elevated cuisine is also a profession, because there is very, very real money to be had, and also flexibility, especially for those who like the nightlife, meaning who like to work at night and have their mornings to rest. Anyway, woohoo. Okay, so oh yeah, Andy cannot, I'm just going back to those comments. He cannot wait for the sequel of Wicked. Are there any Hollywood? Are there any Hollywood cemeteries that are haunted? I would argue all of them. But I mean, the two main ones are Hollywood Forever and Forest Lawn. And Chuck and I were actually talking about our experience going to Forest Lawn and talking to the actual spirit of Elizabeth Taylor, because she's buried there in a very prominent way. Whereas Michael Jackson is hidden, you can't get to him. Elizabeth Taylor is front and center. Liam wants you to go there, smell the orchids that she's going to have delivered there for 75 years from when she was buried there. And it's a glorious place that, again, Chuck and I talked about in our live stream together. That was last day. It is on, if you go to my channel under live streams, it'll be there. Chansfield is my best friend, my closest friend, and chosen family, brother from another mother. He is amazing at what he does. Check him out at Chuck Dransfield. Speaking of shout outs, please check out Joyce at Mystic Soul Insights, one of the best astrologer tarot readers I know, also does numerology, and fun fact, is a former swim coach who also does synchronized swimming and artistic swimming. And if Noah is here, Pam is of Pomona Remembers, another extraordinary human being who does fun, mystical things and is an artist unparalleled. Unlike some of the stuff I do, which involves googly eyes. Eyeball kid art. Check me out on Instagram. Anyway, let's see here. We are talking about some haunted history. There's a casita in Tucson. Joyce is talking about meeting Johnny. Is this Johnny? We did talk a lot about Johnny Grant at one point. Oh yeah, it'd be fun to see your live streams, Joyce, if you would like to do that. Ooh, Sidney. You grew up in Phoenix. And you spent a lot of time in California. I am so curious. I am one of those unicorns actually born and raised in the county of Los Angeles, in Los Angeles. Although I ended up starting to spend my time more and more going toward Orange County. I grew up here. LA was rough. Oh God, was it rough? I mean, Hollywood's rough, friends. If you expect Hollywood to look like Beverly Hills, my good Lord, it does not. It's like a post-apocalyptic David Lynchian Blade Runner dystopia. It is pretty rough here. But fun fact, a lot of my family has moved away now. They live not in Phoenix, but in northern Arizona. I have some cousins who moved to Scottsdale. Your parents were married in Orange County. Yas, queen. I went to UC Irvine. I spent 10 years of my life. I did undergrad and grad there, and then moved to Paris, France, and came back and spent even more time because I couldn't get away from Irvine, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, Laguna. I lived in Laguna. I worked at a bookstore there. Yay for Orange County. The streets are wide and clean. The most thing, you're on the ocean. That's what I love. And once upon a time when I was growing up, Dennis Rodman lived there. Talk about celebrity sightings, not crushes. I didn't have a crush on the kid, but Dennis Rodman was Donna at the time and famously had this stretch limo. I think it was pink. It was crazy ungodly color, and you knew it was him. He'd go up and down PCH, largely from Newport to Laguna, partying in his stretch limo back in the day. That's some OG stuff there. And he's talking about kitty cats. Yeah, all of us have cats. Oh, your sister was born in Newport Beach. Oh, fun fact, I just got another bug bite. Oh my God. Wrong. No, I mean, I guess I maybe I should attract vampires. That could be for my dating profile, because it feels like things just like sucking my blood. Oh my God. Summertime in LA, in East Hollywood, which is where I live, near Feliz. Oh, Joyce's cat's named Maya. Very fun. It's so good to meet everyone, get to know you. Because one thing at the end of the day, these live, it's fun to post videos about. I've been doing satirical videos about dating, some that are more about spiritual stuff. Occasionally I sing, occasionally it's about Hollywood. Sometimes I get very morose and serious. It's ridiculous. Someone asked if I was on mushrooms. But this live stream for community, we can reach out, you can ask questions. I always have some idea of something, and then we kind of just go for it and see what happens. One of the things I was thinking about, two of the things were, because I just was helping this family member move, who's going to be heading out toward the Palm Springs area, leaving Los Angeles for that area where Chuck and I posted a couple of videos. We were there not too long. It's a fun oasis. It is like 120 degrees in the summer, dry heat. That's a blessing of living in LA, is that you have access to dry, not so much the insanity of unbearably smothering humidity. I once went to Orlando in end of June, early July, and I swore never to go to Florida again. I couldn't breathe. I actually spent a month in Hawaii. Likewise, I am very heat, but definitely to humidity. And look at us talking about the weather. I feel like that happens when you don't know people too well, or you're meeting them for the first time. You're like, oh my God, what's the weather like over there? It's very exciting. Even when you're somebody who wants to talk about the depths of things and go to the bottom of the trends, like the quadruple Scorpio 6-time water sign that I am. I feel like, so to speak, small talk has its place and can be a very beautiful thing. I know a lot of people don't agree and, fight me in the comments. How about that? You know who you are, including my ex. Damn it. Anyway, but two things. I was maybe thinking we could talk about, places we've moved to, places we'd love to live in, places we live. I don't know. Give me a fun fact in the comments. I would love to know more about why you live where you live and why that speaks to you that no one else might know about where you live. I think that would be damn cool, because a lot of people have so many assumptions about LA and Hollywood, and my whole life I've been trying to move the hell out of here. I've lived in Paris. I've lived in Dublin, Ireland. Paris is super, sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. Paris, not Pertuis. It's a tiny town in the southeast of France. I lived in Northern California, Berkeley. I lived in Oakland. I lived in Sacktown, Sack of Potatoes. All hail. I lived in Sacramento in Midtown. I lived in Orange County a very long time. I lived in the Valley for a second. I am very curious. I will think about a fun fact for you that's very unexpected. Andy wants to live close to Hollywood Cemetery. Where, come on down. You could live near Paramount Studios by Harbor. That could be cool. Although Glendale is a much nicer place to live near Salon. That's what I would suggest. Joy says Cedar Rapids is pretty boring. You want to stay in a haunted hotel. Like, how haunted? I mean, the Roosevelt is not too terribly expensive and very luxurious. 4-star, but not overly luxurious like in Beverly Hills or, Bel Air, Brentwood. It's which are more 5 stars. But if you want to stay in one that will literally keep you from sleeping all night long, where you're going to think you're going to die, then that would be downtown LA. I could give you all those. Chuck, if you're here, you would probably think you're going to not survive the night. People like murder, suicide, like those horrible, horrible spaces that are very rough. But but I would highly recommend the haunted hotel, the Roosevelt, for a nice, beautiful experience. They have 5 restaurants and 8 bars. Yes, I worked there at one point, not too long ago. So where Andy lives, a celebrity who lived there was Patrick when he was in the Munsters. That is very fun. I absolutely love that. Ooh, okay, here's a fun fact. So I technically grew up in Montebello. It's the southeast side of LA. My family are Russian immigrants. My mom's dad built the house that I was raised in Montebello, though I wasn't really raised there. I was in volleyball club in private schools in Orange County for Christian schools. My family's very religious. And so I didn't spend much time in Montebello. However, Edward James Olmos, Ed. He is a family friend. He's from Montebello as well. And he is best friends with Jay Nomura. Jay, his mom, and they owned M's Flowers in Montebello. It's a very famous flower shop in that area. And Ed grew up with Jay and my dad, and they were all friends. Although my dad was a little more distant from their little posse, as it were. My dad he helped his dad with his company. But stand and deliver, and a weird synchronicity. My dad passed, and there was beef between my dad and Jay and Ed, honestly. And something very weird is LALIF, the LA International Latino Film Festival that was happening at the Hollywood Roosevelt when I worked there. And from out of nowhere, it was just this interesting, it was like a portal had opened in time and space. Uh-oh, there's V. We're not going to go back to V for vagina. There was a portal that opened in time and space, and an ex I had been dating came back to my life. Other people were just, it was just all these interesting convergences of people. And all of a sudden, I'm trying to open the restaurant, and there are people like pounding down the door during Lalif, the film festival, and Ed and Jay. And I'm like, Jay? Ed? It's Anastasia. Don't you, Don was my dad, Daniel in the Russian. And Jay is like shining, almost crying, like so excited. Oh my God. And then Ed is excited. We all hug and take photos. And it was just this random moment. It was really beautiful. And what was even more beautiful, felt like, just like I was making peace and healing with my ex-boyfriend who became my boyfriend again for a moment, I was able to help, I felt my father make peace with Ed and Jay. And it was beautiful. It was, and then I know school with Jay's daughter and son, and he pulled them up on FaceTime. It was just this, one of those moments in life, where things just flow, like when things need to come together, when there needs to be some type of peace or squashing of the beef, as it were, these things can happen. And I feel like when you ask, you receive too when you need, but just, it happens in its own timing. That's a big thing. All right, let's see here. Oh no, Sidney retracted a message. I always love when that happens. So I'm like, ooh, what raunchy naughty thing did you say? Ooh. All right, let's see here. Andy is he did Coke the last time. He's happy houring with us with a Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, like the Cecil Hotel. Absolutely, Sydney. That is one of them. That is one of the freaky hotels. Is Chuck feeding Sasha? Chuck often does art while he is watching us. So he's doing something else and has this on, like he has I Love Lucy on in the background, or he's feeding Sasha. Joyce is giving him info. Let's see here. She's lived in Tacoma, Bellingham, Washington, as in Washington State, Westchester, Pennsylvania, Charlestown, Berks County, Pennsylvania, Blandon, Tucson, and now Cedar Rapids. Anyone aware of the Iowa Writers Group? For those who don't know, is the most prestigious Masters in Fine Arts MFA program in creative writing in the world, you could argue, but certainly in the United States. I was in that field and industry. Cheers. I still write. I'll never not write. Also going to UC Irvine was in the top 5 or so. It still is. Michael Chabin, I don't know if any of you are readers. Michael went to UC Irvine for his MFA. So did Richard Ford. So did Amy Bender. Those are all fun writers. Oh, Sydney's typing on her tablet. Not used to it. Alas, she didn't say something sorted that we can... yeah, we like to get a little raunchy and puerile here. Life short, just... sometimes we curse. No fucks to give sometimes. Just... I don't know if anyone is familiar with not Mark Manson. Oh my Lord God. Hold on. No, it is Mark Manson. Sorry, I was thinking of the comic, the comedian, the other Mark. But yeah, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's actually great. Someone was like, oh, you're going through a breakup? Read this. Not like those books on breakups. Just read how to make your life better and have fun. I should call today non-hump day. Yeah, Wednesday is our live stream where we kind of have like a little sexy vibe. And I talked about celebrity crushes. I actually ended up meeting later in life, including Carrie Elway and Joe Fiennes, who was Shakespeare in Love. Carrie Elway, famously from Princess Bride. And John Schneider, incidentally, from Dukes of Hazzard. That was a little before my time, but my mom said apparently I was into Dukes of Hazzard and the Hazard brothers. So yes, Mark Maron was the other Mark. I call Mark Manson, Mark Maron, and vice versa. Oh, I did get to meet Mark Min when he was on Glee. Oh, Lord God. Glow, sorry. Glow. Middle-aged brain. I was thinking of Mike Birbiglia and kept calling him Nick Birbiglia recently. God, I'm doing that thing. There's actually an SNL sketch about that, how it's like mom brain, where you're like the way a mom thinks about a name is like, it's just this weird, like convoluted thing. It's so funny. And it's like mom translator, how to translate what your mom's actually trying to say. Check it out. SNL spoofs are so, those ads they have. I know like some of them that are like Heroin AM, some of those are like very controversial, but they're all pretty good, honestly. I really like those. I've been reading Tina Fey's autobiography, sorry, Bossy Pants. Any SNL fans out there, it's a lot of fun. She's so warm. In fact, anyone see Four Seasons? Four Seasons, I was trying to understand why it felt so important for you to like binge watch it and get through that like as quickly as possible, or just such time with it. And is because one, it's definitely well written, well acted, obviously, but it was more that all the people in it were people I wanted to hang out with, like Tina Fey, Will Forte. I mean, these were obviously like these were people who were like it. I felt like hopefully this live stream, we're just hanging out, we're having a good time, and hopefully it's well written. Although this is not scripted per se, I do write down a couple things. Fridays should be Freaky Fridays. That's a good idea because we were talking thematics. Wednesday, definitely a little sexy themed, which can go in many directions. And then 40s are the new 30s. The new 20s, darling. I'm not a day over 25. Yes, there was another mark on Glee. Was there now? Friday, yeah, because Fridays could be about ghosts. Not today, I feel, but it could be. But yeah, Fridays could be Freaky Fridays. Mondays, what are Mondays? Because right now we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Until further notice. Until I'm in between jobs right now. We'll see what happens. Oh, I have a note. You're doing great. I'm like, I'm doing great. I am my best cheerleader. I'm doing great. That was the Tom Papa special. I mentioned him last time. And so after these live streams, I do go back and edit the description so that I recap some of what we discussed in case you're like, oh, that sounds like a fun live stream to rewatch. And hopefully, again, we'll be getting better equipment, probably going to be getting a new iPad and a little microphone, because I know this is a bit rough. Even though at the best internet speed I could get, it's still being weird, and iPhones are, I don't know, they can be weird. What can I say? But yeah, last time I Tom Papa, we were talking about comedy for a moment there, and that special, You're Doing Great, is if for folks who are fans of Jim Gaffigan, if you like more clean humor. I have rewatched that Tom Papa special too many times. I also forgot to, I mentioned Tom Segura, but I mentioned Shane Gillis, kind of generally in the realm of that type of comedy. Shane, who was famously fired from SNL for a not however many years ago, that was construed as being very racist, and so they kicked him off as quickly as he got onto SNL. But he's Beautiful Dogs. Oh my God, that's a great special. YouTube special that he put on for free there on YouTube. Just check out. A lot of fun. Although very particular sense of humor, style. Not all of you might vibe with that. There are different strokes for different folks. Like Joyce is initiative of the comedian Garfield. I love that. Manic Mondays. I know I did sing Manic Monday on Monday. That's fun. Hump Day and Freaky Friday. Y'all are the best. I literally took a screenshot of that. Andy is talking about Mark sailing and talking about, oh geez. Okay, that is a very, that is a trigger warning comment, but we're not, absolutely, we don't try to censor anything here. We like to go into it. Oh wow. Yeah, you're really going there, Andy. That is a comment. That's, wow. Yeah, geez. My goodness. That's really tragic. I don't know if I want to read that on here because that's a very, I didn't know that. I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention. So yeah, there's apparently on Glee. One was the famous Mark Maron. Oh, you have to retract it. I love and respect whatever you want to share. I just want to be mindful. Some people really get triggered by certain things. But I really don't feel bad, Andy. I'm very grateful for what you shared. I just want to be very mindful when people are watching this. I think also because I say naughty things and I feel like I'm going to get demonetized or kicked the fuck off here. Thank you for sharing that. I am going to read more about that. I might get flagged. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I mentioned some of what Andy said in his comment, yeah, I could get flagged for that. But Andy, because I don't stand for censorship. I think you know that, or you don't maybe know this. Yeah, I come from a group of people that was almost killed off for their beliefs. You know, talk about being censored. We were censored to death, like genocide, folks, pogroms, lots of fun. And so in me is this inherent whistleblower. Yeah, I don't like censorship, but you know, and that's another thing. Yeah, better safe than sorry. But yeah, this suddenly we're going off-roading into a whole other terrain. But you know, there are a lot of people who are like the Civil War statues, or you know, or keep them up, and one of the rationale for keeping them up is because, like, if we, even if it's hateful or from a really difficult history, like for example, you know, in Germany, right? They didn't want to eradicate the fact that a Holocaust had happened, because if we pretend it didn't happen, we run the risk of it happening again. So that's why it's important to name things like what you named in your comment, Andy. So we become very political, very, very strong minded, or hearted rather, because I feel like the majority of humans really want to do what's right and what's best, and don't want certain things to be repeated. So I'm really grateful. This is an interesting pivot. Is it safe to say one of the cast died of cancer? He played Finn. Absolutely. Of course it's safe. Yeah. But no, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Joyce hardly ever curses. I am a sailor. I love cursing. Did you know? Well, this is from, go to the website, iamright.com. You'll learn any research you need to. Like the research about what I was about to say, how when you curse, it typically have a higher IQ. I'm not saying you have a lower IQ, Joyce. You might have a much higher IQ than me, but one possible signifier of a higher IQ curse. I really don't know about that research. I'm pretty sure that's from iamright.com. Or I think more so when certain people curse, it makes a lot of people just feel comfortable, like, oh, they're just a random average Joe. If they feel comfortable cursing, then like, I can let my hair down. I'm all right. But then, you know, I also come from a family of religious zealots who look at you're constantly cursing. They're like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to be around you. So, you know, one or another. Andy doesn't swear, but he knows all the words. Does anyone want to learn any French swear word? I speak French fluently. Let's hear. I love to leave people with education. This is entertainment and education. Va te faire foutre. Oh my God. Let's learn French. Fun with Anna. Stasia. Some people call me Anna, but you can call me Stas. We're not going to learn French. Oh, Lord. Merde. Yes, that's crap, poop. What language is caca and poo-poo? Oh, my gosh. Okay, we are being very puerile, but I'm loving this. This is fun. Okay, I have a story about that, and it seems so random. I have a story. Chuck is going to laugh right now. My caca poo-poo story. Okay, so I was a nanny in France. That's how I got to work and live in France. I took care of 5 kids who were Scientologists. It was a story. It was a life. It was a moment in Paris. Very weird. I lived in the technically Vitry-sur-Seine, so 2 stops on the southeast side of LA, outside LA, and 2 stops outside of Paris proper, in the banlieue, in the suburbs of Paris. And yes, I obviously spoke a lot of French. And I lived with a 6-year-old and an infant who was 2 months when I started till she was 14 months. And then next door were the 3 cousins, and I'd often take care of all of them at once, but I only lived with 2 of the kids. The 6-year-old, though, did not want to learn English. It's like, well, you have a nanny who speaks English. She's like, I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm like, oh, she was a brat, but she was cute. She looked like Snow White, literally. Fast forward to now, I live in a Snow White cottage. That's based on the Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs cottage in there that Walt Disney animated for that movie. His animation studios were at the Gelsons, that is now in Silver Lake. And put the animators in a cottage that looks just like mine. It's an architectural style that inspired him. Anyway, maybe that was a forewarning. There was the little girl in Paris, and then where I would live so many years later. But this little girl, the one thing I taught her in English, this is my story about what you just said, poo poo caca, is that caca is a French word. They say that in French, but they don't say poo poo. And I sometimes to swear around the little girl, because I tried not to use more intense swear words around her. She was only 6 after all. And though French kids will have wine and talk about naughty sexual things and have a very different day. She was doing like algebra already in kindergarten and like learning other languages. We still try and keep it somewhat peaceful. So, yeah, I would sometimes curse by saying, poo poo caca. It was like, poo poo, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Poo poo, qu'est-ce que c'est? I'm like, poo poo, ça c'est caca. Poo poo is caca. Caca is poo poo. They're the same words. One's in English, one's more just in French, although you could say them both. And that is the one I taught that little 6-year-old in Paris in English. Poo poo caca. Bravo, Anastasia. All that academic pedigree and under Jacques Derrida, you see her fine. All those sesquipedalians, those words, those multisyllabic words, yeah. All of that to teach a little pukaka. I was en route to being a profound and an extraordinary professor, and that is what it really served me. All right, so we're really doing this. We're talking about curse words. Let's see her. Here, Joyce's father is a longshoreman and never cursed at home. Only likes curly, Andy. There you go. And this is hilarious. Oh, Andy is introduced Sidney to Chuck. Yes, welcome to our fold. To our coven. No. Our cult. No. No, welcome, Sidney. We like to have fun. And again, the world is on fire right now. It's exploding. And it's fun to, when life explodes, make live streams, have community, laugh, enjoy. Let's see, sing songs, which I will do. I will sing that cover of the Cynthia Erivo. And also Jim, Mr. Nothing. I will find a way for us to sing together. We will be in touch. Feel free to send me an email in my description of my channel. It is The Sacred Spheres, so my channel name, thesacredspheres@gmail.com. We can plan a time to do that. There you go. Fridays could maybe, besides being Freaky Fridays, they could get real freaky. We get our freak on by having a guest on. Like we had Chuck on, we'll have Joyce on at a point. We'll probably have Pam on at one point. Oh yeah, a cockapoo and a shih tzu, or a she. Oh yeah, sorry, those dog mixes. Such a potty mouth. I know. Yep, poodles or poos. All right. Oh, Andy, we're talking about number one, and it's become very juvenile here. I'm loving it. And Andy is telling me and the world, at least I'm number one, or maybe Joyce is number one, because and Sidney's here too. The other ladies here today, but at least maybe I'm number one in his book, or maybe two. Cockapoo. Okay. Oh. Joyce's dad had a friend who couldn't say hello without cursing, and he didn't have a very big vocabulary. I actually do. My dad used to all of it tell me the brain, and I would be a walking dictionary. When I used to live with my father before he passed on, and when he would be working, he would always get stuck because I had a lot of vacation ways, and he did. But he was an amazing businessman and ran his company. Did very well in ways, but and I'm not as good at business in ways as he is. But yeah, he'd always need me to spell a word. No matter what room in the house I was in, he'd scream out a word and I'd spell it perfectly. That is one of my skills. Chuck has a memory unlike anyone I've met on the planet for old Hollywood factoids down to what page number interesting info would be on. And I spell most words, like 99% of the English language, it feels like, which is a very large lexicon. Fun fact, because we like to appropriate things. We are great at that here. From a lot of other languages, we absorb a lot of other languages. We have a very large lexicon here in American English. So Jim is the only person who's heard Andy sing, and isn't that right? We would love to hear your voice. Well, at some point, anyone who's willing and ready to come on to sing, yeah, let's plan a time. All right, so let me pivot. I mentioned Cynthia Erivo, and I got to work with her when she was promoting Harriet. That's what I did events, red carpets, premieres, and so on at ArcLight Cinemas Hollywood in the Cinerama Dome. And I will never forget when I met her because one, even in Hollywood, people don't get the memo. Things are normally very well produced and slick and clean, and every possible conceivable thing is thought about for something. Things are very expensive for that reason, whether you're making a movie or you're just trying to get folks together for a Q&A or a premiere, a red carpet event. We were trying to help Cynthia promote her movie through the events we had there at the Cinerama ArcLight, and somehow they didn't tell her she was going to be on camera. She thought she was just showing up to, like, I don't know, sign some things, take care of just some business before an event, and lo and behold, I was her escort walking her to a set, and she melted down. But she was very professional, but she definitely spoke mind. Speaking of not being censored and speaking your mind, she was not happy that she was going to be on camera, because she is the talent. She is a brand. She needed to look the part. She was literally in her athleisure wear and no makeup, and she still looked amazing. So that was very uncomfortable. I was not in charge of that part of the paperwork and talking to the wrangler and the producers and the I don't know, the agents and everyone else. So I was just the messenger who got shot. Fun fact though, what made that even more memorable was I had to get back on the elevator to go downstairs to where we let out talent with, there was, I think, me, at least one other person, and Cynthia, and because I had to have security or someone with me as well, and we were going down the elevator when our phones started to light up. And it was because it was the moment Kobe Bryant's helicopter went down. He died, and we were all just completely stunned. So that was a really weird, those like flashbulb, like 9/11, or for LA, that was a very big deal. Kobe was an Oscar winner as well, speaking of Hollywood history. But yeah, just a huge part of the city and the legacy of the city. And yeah, it was very shocking. That was when I first and last met Cynthia. I haven't seen her since. I haven't been, well, no, I do. I have been working in the industry adjacent to it. But where I last worked, we didn't do too many things for Wicked. So I didn't have a chance to, or any of the other movies she was in, to see her more recently. I don't doubt I'll see her again soon. But yeah, I'd love to sing, what I want to sing is You Can't Hurry Love, at least her cover of it from the movie Bad Times of the El Royale. I started this live stream, probably have a podcast, Chuck and I in particular, but maybe even Joyce, Pam, and we'll all be on that show at some point. But, oh yeah, by the way, brief plug, Chuck Dransfield, if you're not aware, is an extraordinary old Hollywood expert. Please check him out at Chuck Dransfield. Into tarot, astrology, numerology, or you love things synchronized swimming, physics swimming, or just swimming related. Joyce, Mystic Soul Insights, and Pomona Remembers. Pamela, she at Pomona Remembers does unparalleled art, creativity, creative, also mystical, numinous, remote viewing, interesting stuff. And of course, there's Oracle Whimsy. Chuck's famous for that. He's with Whimsy, Dr. Whimsy Anderson, Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays at the Oracle of Whimsy for his live stream. Chuck's live stream is Mondays at 5 p.m. Whimsy's and his stream is at 5 p.m. Tuesday. So if those are things that interest you, they all interesting channels, different types of content, and other live streams if you are for love or live streams. Okie doke. Let's get back to the comments for a sec. And yeah. So, Cynthia does have a buzzed haircut and nails that go on for days. And famously, remember holding space, that meme for Wicked. Oh, that was so cute. Where the two leads were, holding Cynthia, Ariana Grande was holding little Miss Cynthia's nail, and they were holding space together during an interview. That was an amazing, exceptional ad campaign. Let me or just campaign, Oscars campaign. They didn't do very well, but it's probably because Wicked 2, when that comes out, that'll probably kind of like Lord of the Rings 3, you know, that's what one they're like, through, it's all great, but you got to end it, and then we'll give you some awards. You know how Hollywood is, like everything's so political. You could have the, you know, the role of a lifetime, but you're not going to get your Oscar for that. You'll get it for the next movie because they want to give it to someone else for some reason, even though you were the one who should have won it, but then they'll give you one another time if they like you, you know. So sarcastic Sundays, yes. Yeah, right now we're only doing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, by the way, on my channel. It's Mondays at 7, Wednesdays and Fridays at 7, Mondays, Manic Mondays. Maybe I'll start by singing Manic Monday. Wednesdays, definitely a hump day. Get your hump on, bump, bump, hump, hump in the night. Days, who knows? Freaky Fridays, guest stars. All right, why don't, yeah, Ariana Grande is extraordinary. And yes, of course, 9 p.m. for those in Central Time, or 10 p.m. If you're watching my live streams, 10 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's see here. So today we've had some random stories about moving and places we've lived, and fun facts about where we live, and maybe places we'd rather live. And we talked about Cynthia Erivo and Kobe, and we've kind of been all over the map today. Oh my God, we're losing we're losing viewers and fast right at the juicy moment where I'm going to actually sing. Ariana Grande and Mariah Carey just did a duet with Barbra Streisand on a new album that was released last night. That is extraordinary. Well, to everyone who has waited this long, oh, we just increased in views. Sorry, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I was going to sing a song for you. It's kind of like, you know, the sitcom show, like the Carol Burnett show or something, you know, where there's like, or how Ellen DeGeneres would always dance at the beginning. I sing at the end. You know what I mean? I mean, and it's warm. Happy summer. Where's my makeup artist? Let's pause the show. All right. Yeah. If you've not seen the movie Bad Times at the El Royale, please see Bad Times at the El Royale. Great movie. It is very long. It is very violent, but it has such an amazing cast that does include Cynthia Erivo. Jeff Bridges, what, is in there. Chris Hemsworth plays a cult leader. That's fun. That's unexpected. It is a really good film. I really unexpectedly liked it. It was, again, very Tarantino-esque, very long, but worth at least one view. A lot of profanity, a lot of violence. Be prepared, but it takes place on the border of California and Nevada. Speaking of places in time and space. All right, so let me turn this down a little for a little sing-along session. I might mess up the lyrics. I've not sung this in a long time. Let us get our vocalese. Vocalese is the act of warming up your voice and doing different things like vivo, 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 things like that to get things loosey-goosey and working. Before I sing, can you share something, please, Andy said. Jim, that voice, Jim said that voice. I'm being a goober. Yes, what do you want to share, Andy? You are friends with children of famous stars. Very exciting. Or grandkids of the Stooges, the son of Red Buttons, Lou Costello's daughter, Chris Costello. Very cool. On Facebook. I love it. That's adorable. Anything else because we're nearing the end of our hour, because it's a literal happy hour together. This is very cute. That book, that's a very nice pun. I'm loving that. Speaking of the Three Stooges. All right, I am going to conclude our Freaky Friday together by singing. Thank you, by the way, to if Jason was here, Andy, Chuck, Joyce, if Pam was here, Sidney, if I mentioned you already. Sidney, our newest addition. What a sweetie pie. Sidney, Jim, Andy, Joyce, Jason, Pam, Chuck, Sasha, Galaxy, Anastasia, Cynthia, Kobe, the folks who, oh yeah, Jim was mentioning folks he had lost. Yeah, those we've lost. They're all, thank you. Oh, Jim, he said, thanks for having us. You're very welcome. Oh, yeah, we talked about the most important thing there is to know. Poo-poo is an English word. Caca is a French word. But together, it's called franglais, French English. English and French. Français is French and French, and there you go. One thing from Andy is a request. Do I know the theme song for Golden Girls? I don't. I did. Thank you for being a friend. Yeah, no, I know the song, but I don't really know the song. So, yes, at least you didn't say oui, oui. Oui, oui, kiki. Oui, oui, kiki. Bon, mes amis, c'est le moment. Oh, yay! Sydney's still here. I was worried we lost you. We kind of went off-roading, like Ramble Town. It's such a pleasure to meet you. You did, oh my God, yeah, my name is spelled Anastasia, which is the Americanization of my name, which is originally a Greek word, Anastasis, it means resurrection. It's very popular in Russia. In Russian, it is Anastasia, same in Greek. Anastasia is a closer pronunciation, since my family is very Russian, than Anastasia. So that is that. Anastasia makes me sound like I'm from the South. And I drink sweet tea, and I love shrimp and grits. I mean, I do like shrimp and grits. I don't tell my grandma that. She's very passed away, but we were kosher. You're not supposed to eat shellfish. And is there someone at my door? I think that's my cat. What is going on? This is fun living in such tight quarters here in Hollywood. It's very dense. There are people all over the place. And I think there's someone that's inches away from us. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am very grateful for my name. It's my great grandmother's name. It's also very common. I'd say 1 in 2 girls is named Anastasia, or derivative of it in Russia. I will sing. I feel like my cat is doing something weird and naughty. And in point of fact, baby, no. But here, Kitty, we can, for those of you who haven't met my fat black cat, I'm trying to wrangle her legs. Come on, Bubba. There you go. She is a sweetie pie, and she is as mascot and part of the show as Sasha is of Chuck's show, even with whimsy. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I will sing. Don't you worry. Here is Galaxy. She wanted to make her grand debut. It wasn't a person. It was the cat, who was probably seeing a ghost for Freaky Friday. She wanted to say hi. Here's her little nub. She's missing her back left leg. It had to be half amputated when she was a little kitten. She was found by No Kill LA on the west side. She was living on the hard streets of West LA, but was given all her shots, and they took care of the leg that got mangled. She became a star. Yeah, little Galaxy is sweet and is in my hair. One second. Okay, oh boy. Okay, yeah. All right, that's all she wrote for Galaxy. Okay. Yeah, Galaxy is gorgeous. She has yellow eyes. She contains multitudes. All right, my loves. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to sing this song, and then we will say goodbye and offer love to each other. And yeah, and then we're going to have an amazing weekend. Then I'll see you on Monday at 7 p.m. for Manic Mondays, and maybe I'll open it by singing Manic Mondays. That song by the Bangles. But yeah, we're talking about Cynthia Erivo. This is her version of You Can't Hurry Love, which is very apropos since I just had my heart broken again because I was impatient to meet someone and met someone who wasn't the best fit, but you know, it still was fun. It's painful. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can't hurry love. I did sing this song for him, or at least he saw it. I have it on my YouTube. There's me singing this. It's like a satirical version of me singing this song. So if you want to rewatch, it's also on my YouTube with my... Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I promised I'd put my hair in space buns. I did not. Well, my hair's in space buns in this YouTube video. So there you go. How old is Galaxy again? She is 8. She just turned 8 on the 25th of April. Okay, folks, I feel like this was a very epic preamble. We're not going to take questions until after, and then we will say goodbye and share our love and hearts and souls. Our blood contract in this cult we're in. No, Hollywood contract, no. And then have a lovely weekend. All right, you can't hurry, love. Yeah, you were such an inspiration. Your vocal range is unlike anything I could ever achieve in my lifetime, but I have my own vocal range, so here it is, folks. Okay, yeah, you're ready. We're ready. All right, let's see here. Let's hope it's not too loud. Okay. Ready? I need love, love to come easy. I forgot the words. Oh my God. No. Shit. Hold on. Let's try again. I need love, love to come easy. Keep on waiting. There we go. Anticipating for that soft voice to welcome me at night. The heart to hold me tight, but I keep waiting. 'Cause Mama said you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said, love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. You can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said, trust good times, no matter how long it takes. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait. Shit. Well, that was fun. I should rehearse that a few more times. And it probably got really loud. I'm used to having a oh, that's so phallic. I'm sorry. A normal microphone where I know how to, like, you know, do this if I have to get really loud. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. I love singing that song. I love Cynthia singing that song. So, and this is the thing about this channel and about this live stream is it's important to make mistakes. It's important to do goofy things. Because my internet is probably cutting in and out, the microphone cutting in and out, my hair cutting in and out, Galaxy chopping in and out, like slicing and dicing. Yeah, life is so short. Just enjoy. Choose what excites you in the moment. Let yourself go off-roading. Let yourself what seems to be making a mistake, and you might find that it's even better than what you would have done had it been perfectly polished. Like that moment where I met Cynthia, polished, but then it led to an intimate moment where we had to leave and we got to share an experience that was unprecedented when Kobe passed, and to have that community and communion. And that's what this is. Cynthia, the song, I highly recommend the song that she sang in Harriet. It's something I've tried to cover and I cannot. Her range is not mine. I'd have to have the song rearranged for my voice. And she is amazing and wicked. But another song I love, that song from Harriet was sung at the Oscars. Cynthia's song, definitely check that out. And then also John Legend and Common, the song that they won. Thank you. It finally came to me. The song Glory, that song I love so much. I can watch that and the song from Harriet on repeat. The ones performed live, the live performances for the Oscars were so good. So don't forget, you can't hurry love. You can't hurry love. You just have to wait. All right, my friends. That is all she wrote. What a day. Paradise. I hope you're doing well. Welcome much more officially to summer. I'm so happy to have seen you. Yeah, any last minute questions before we sign off and give each other lots of love? I was talking about SNL. Did I see any of the sketches with Bruno Mars? Not all of them. I normally, when I watch everything on YouTube after it comes out, so I won't see everything, but as much as they'll release on YouTube, I will check that out. I will take that recommendation, if you take mine, to watch Legend and Common singing Glory live at the Oscars, and Cynthia Erivo singing the song from Harriet live at the Oscars as well. Those are two amazing videos. And I'm trying to remember how that song goes. I think I've been traumatized. I can't sing it well. I actually have videos on my channel trying to rehearse that song that Cynthia sang from Harriet. Oh yeah. I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Anyway, she wrote that song, co-wrote it. Amazing. All right, let's see here. All right, something. Oh, the Napster. I think I've seen that sketch. I'm gonna have to check that out. All right. Anything else before we sign off on this beautiful Friday afternoon in early summer? I am honored beyond words to have spent this time during our happy hour, even happy because someone else somewhere in the world is happy, and sometimes when I'm here, I'm very happy. So hopefully you're now happier. Yeah, joy is something that's here in my heart when you're here, and I hope that engenders a little more happiness for you. I love you very much, all of you. Thanks again to Joyce, who is here today, Andy, Chuck, Jim, Sydney, Australia. Hello, my darling Sydney. Jason, anyone else who is here? I am so honored. Pam, Chuck, Andy, Joyce, Jim, Sydney, Jason, Pam, I don't know. Everyone. There are a lot of people watching, and I know they didn't all show themselves in the comments, but have a beautiful weekend. Please come back, tune back in 7 p.m. Pacific, Monday for Manic Mondays. We'll see what unfolds there. I love the flow. I like having some structure, so maybe we'll have more structure next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell so you know. Hit the man in the boat so that you know when we go live, because otherwise it's hard to figure it all out. Sydney, you're a doll face. I can't wait to learn more about you and what you like and don't like and want to hear and not hear on this channel. Check out whatever I got on my channel. Let me know what you're doing. I could channel whatever is clever. You can even come on my show if you want. Shoot me an email. You guys, please know you're loved. You are loved. This world sometimes feels really hateful and crazy, but please know that you are loved by me. Mwah. And in our coming beautiful weekend, you take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. for week 3 of the live stream Palooza. Oh, you look forward to it, Sidney. I'll see you then. Yay! Until then, watch some comedy. Find some levity in the midst of all the gravity and tragedy. So much love to you guys, okay? You take very good care. I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. And don't forget to watch some of my other videos. Like, subscribe. Goodness. Okay. Share the good news. Love you. Thanks also, Andy, for bringing your friends. You're a true friend indeed. Bye. Mwah. Happy weekend.